All right, y'all, I'm back at Mary's. This is Thursday, March 20th, and I'm leaving to Oregon on Saturday, March 22nd, and I'll be away for a few months. So I'm trying to knock out as much banana managing as I can here, but I know I won't be able to finish it all. So this is kind of a good point to show the difference between the managed and unmanaged systems. So the last video I put up was a silent tour of how this system looked a few days ago. And so you kind of see a little bit of if you want some more reference, you can check that video out. So now we can see a little bit more space in between species here, and kind of how I ideally would want all these bananas to be looking coming into the summer here. And because we have very humid, very rainy summers here, and things grow like crazy. And it's up to us to try to open up the system as much as possible so that target trees like this this soursop that's putting on new leaves, waking up from some sort of Venona, is coming back, and this was, very, you can see the old bananas here. This is sort of clogged here, and so is this one, and so now we have a lot of space for the target trees. One sort of test that I like to do is if you run parallel to your, not parallel, but perpendicular to your system, so the lines are going this way and that way. If you go to one extreme, like one edge of it, ideally you would be able to see like all the way down to the end, hopefully. I kind of stop around halfway, and then things start to get crazy dense again. But when it comes to a big managing right before your rainy season, that's kind of the ideal sort of test. Just you'll be able to see through the entire thing. That means air is going to be able to go through the entire system. So just want to show what the bananas would look like beforehand. You see these, here's the main one that's going to produce fruit, and then all these pups. And it's I haven't gotten to this one because there isn't really anything too crazy important here, just this noni that really isn't doing much. And so I'm kind of just using it as a reference as to what a lot of these bananas looked like, and kind of what I want them to look like, which is like this Pisang Ceylon here. So we're gonna have one that's gonna be the main fruiter, and then maybe one more afterwards, and maybe one more here. And that's kind of the ideal. Here's another good situation. This star fruit here is starting to really get to its fuller potential, so we're trying to open up a lot of sunlight. And you can see here, this was a big massive banana that was all up in the starfruit's business, and so what we have here is one of them that's fruiting currently, and then I'm gonna have another one. Same thing here, there's a mulberry. This is more of a tree type mulberry instead of a bushing type mulberry. You can see it's got a central leader, forks over here, and beautiful mulberry. And so this was also getting clogged up as well. And a lot of the Suriname cherries are starting to grow. So one thing I've been doing is lifting them up and sort of getting their architecture somewhat right so that they keep shooting up, because they are slow growers. Different target trees like this Mamey sapote is we're just trying to open up some sunlight for. You can see the difference, sort of how much shadier it is right here in this little spot compared to over there. You can see the sunlight coming in. So this is telling me that there's definitely needs to be some managing here. This mango could use all the sunlight it can get now that it's totally grown. So yeah, this could get managed, and that'll also open up sunlight for this mountain soursop here, as well as this one. But I'm kind of just chipping away at the ones that are most important. Here's a pretty bad example of like, this is a peach tree, which really isn't looking that hot, and so I'm not really sure if we're gonna leave it, but we'll see. I might have to clear this whole banana patch up, and gives the importance to the peach tree, or we might decide that maybe just this banana clump is more useful. We'll see. But that's kind of what I've been doing, and I just want to show a couple more examples. A lot of bird activity this spring. Beautiful. So here's another example. Here's another mamey. You can see the dappled sun on that. It looks really nice because I just opened this banana clump. This banana right here looked more like this one, and I cleaned it up. We got one main one, this one for the future, then that one for the longer in the future. It opened up space for this mulberry. I think this is a Tice, I'm not sure, but some mulberries, like this Thai dwarf. I think this is a Thai dwarf. Look at crazy, super vigorous, sprawls out like crazy, finds the sunlight no matter, even if it's getting shaded out. So super amazing variety here. I'm really loving this. I think is the Thai dwarf. I could be wrong though, because it looks, I could be wrong. I don't know which one it is, but looks like it. And then this one, on the other hand, a lot of mulberries kind of need that sunlight, and they kind of wimp out if they don't get it. It's kind of like a trade-off. Some of the ones that have better fruit are that way. They need that. They need that full sun. And some of the ones that aren't as good as these varieties, they kind of grow more vigorously. So it's kind of a trade-off there. But yeah, same deal. And a lot of banana biomass on the ground. Try to stifle the weeds. But yeah, you can sort of see this, you can see the space in between. Whereas like something like this, it's a little bit more congested compared to something like this. Minor differences, but let's see what else. Oh yeah, I wanted to show another tree in here that is part of the whole deal. So something like this tree right here. This is a wax bamboo, syzygium type tree. Really beautiful tree, really beautiful canopy tree, but we do need to give it some sunlight for it to raise up. And so that's where managing the bananas comes into play. It's starting to heat up. It's not quite humid right now, but it will be soon. And again, I'm leaving for a few months, so I want to make it easy for the person who's gonna be managing this system when I'm gone. This is a lemon drop mangosteen, which is putting on some really good growth. Yeah, the Pakira starting to have this little transition here with I love that transition right there. Really beautiful tree. We're gonna give that some full sun to poke through. Oh yeah, I want to show another example. I'm a little all over the place as I'm trying to finish everything before I go. Okay, here's another example of a tree that we want to liberate. This is the Garcinia livingstonii, Imbe. It was getting a little clogged up with these bananas here. So you can see I did a lot of managing here. And now this Garcinia has a lot more wiggle room. This Moringa was all up in his business, so I took that down. And look at all that biomass for it. Here we have two of the tall namois. It's advised to have just one fruiting at a time, but with so much fertility and irrigation, we can totally get away with having two fruiting bananas at the same time. And this is a very strong variety. But anyways, I still did end up cleaning a lot of the pups because we have a lot of the Suriname cherries that need to come up. And we have Sapodilla, which is not looking too hot. I think it's not really liking how much shade it's been getting. Jaboticaba that's trying to come back. So now we have a little bit more of sunlight to deal with any of the fungal issues that some of these trees, especially these grafted trees. Oh, here's another example. Yeah, especially these grafted trees kind of have issue with being too shaded out. Here's a grafted Valencia Pride that had some bananas all up on it, and now it has a lot of space. See, a lot of just open sky to grow better. And that's your responsibility if you have a system this dense. I'm feeling a little guilty that I couldn't finish all the managing that I wanted to, but It is what it is. So here's some more examples here. We got jackfruits coming up, another mountain soursop, and mountain soursop is another one that needs that sunlight. Here we have a jackfruit. Jackfruit coming up really nicely, and this papaya is right next to it. So at some point here, this papaya is gonna have to go. Let's see. But we're still trying to get some good banana production. You know, like we're trying to squeeze out the last little bits of banana production that we can get before we have to really start thinning them out hard. So there's a lot of spots where there isn't really like a crazy important tree, maybe like a Suriname cherry, but sure, you know, that was just a free seed. This fig that we kind of know that isn't going to do too well in here. So some of these areas where there's not high priority trees, we can get away with continuing banana production, which is nice. Super beautiful new growth on the Pakira. The massive Montingia, the Jamaican cherry is looking really nice. That is something that could also get chopped back, but you know, you can only do so much. And sometimes you just gotta let trees grow. But ideally, I would go climb up there and, you know, do a nice canopy prune so that we get a lot of sunlight coming in, because you can see that shade for this grafted mango here that needs it. You see it's trying to put on a new flesh, and so this thing needs to not be shaded out by this big beautiful tree. But it's all good. Beautiful shade that it casts. Amazing. This is another grafted mango or air layered mango that's getting big, and we cleared a lot of space around it. Beautiful flowers. Here's another example, sugar apple that was getting stifled by this big old dwarf namois. And this dwarf namois is also kind of in the way a little bit. I need to take out all these little pups so that there would be nice airflow through the system. Here you can see a very shady corner as well. And this is why I like to film this time of day, and on clear days, because you can really visually see where the shady corners are and where the sunny spots are. And it's kind of like a game, like you find the shady spots and then try to make them not as shady. So yeah, you can see a lot of banana activity here. This environment will get extremely stifling in the summer here in Southwest Florida, and the mosquitoes will be so bad. I mean, they're bad regardless because of all the mulch that we have here and all the chop and drop. But look at this avocado, beautiful avocado, grafted, air layered, whatever. Definitely needs some. You see it's trying to go straight upwards because there's a lot of it is flowering too, which is awesome, because there's just way too much competition here. So this is a corner that I really need to focus on, because there's this big tamarind tree here, big beautiful tamarind tree with beautiful bark. I love that pattern on the bark so much. I could just stare at this for hours. It's amazing. Yeah, so this is another one. Look at this craziness. And it's nice because one of the issues that I come across in this system is that I'm having to always walk on eggshells with these banana clumps, because I'm also selling the pups online, and we have a little nursery here. So it's hard to just be like, it's hard to manage these banana clumps full blast, because I'm always thinking about, oh, but that's a good pup, like I can't take that one out. But right now, since I'm about to leave, it's kind of off the table. Like I don't have to worry about pups that close down the online shops and stuff. I'm really, for now, while I make this transition, so it's kind of nice, so liberating to just be like, oh, that's a beautiful pup, oh well, and just whack it with the machete, you know. So It's actually really nice. I spend a lot of time. It's really a time sink when you are trying to decide what banana should be taken out, where should the banana biomass go. So it's really nice to feel the freedom of just taking down all these bananas. Let's see. Yeah, that's kind of it. Here's a beautiful avocado here, seedling. I think the three-headed papaya is still doing its thing. Everyone that visits this food forest ends up being so amazed about the three-headed papaya. Look at this thing. Boom, beefy. Let's see. Oh yeah, I did want to talk about, let's see, where am I set up? A lot of birds, so many red-bellied woodpeckers, so many gray catbirds, so many cardinals and the jays. Oh, it's amazing how many birds there are here. It's crazy to see, honestly. Oh yeah, the Corymbia terrellianas are starting to shed. Get their namesake green eucalyptus, colloquial name. It's not really a eucalyptus. So I just wanted to say that I've been using the reciprocating saw for banana managing a lot more these days because I've been having some shoulder pain, shoulder issues from the repetitive motions of swinging a machete all day, and I've been finding that this reciprocating saw is just so amazing for banana pup management, because reciprocating saw you can actually put into the dirt and it won't like mess with the blade. Beautiful tree, beautiful mamey in that dappled sun. Ooh. And it has made my life so much better. I really highly advise, if you're into this stuff, get a good quality reciprocating saw with a nice long carbide blade, and it's just you find so many uses for it. It's something that I feel like such an idiot for not having adopted long ago. You know, I get so into my hand tools and my low-tech style that I kind of shoot myself in the foot sometimes. So definitely big game changer with the recip saw. But yeah, oh yeah, another thing I want to talk about is, if this, in an ideal world, all this biomass would be going into this new area over here, which I also have been, we've been kind of turning it from an experimental vegetable farm, which didn't work out quite that well. You can see we were trying to keep deer out and it was just an uphill battle. But I really wish, in an ideal world, I could have brought all that biomass and started laying it down here, because there's so much sunlight here that oh, beautiful. I think this is a rosy gold, which is an early mango variety. There's a lot of more weed pressure here because of how much sun there is. So I really wish that I can bring all that biomass. Imagine, this is just from this simple banana managing. We have grafted avocados here in the cage because the deer pressure here is insane. Variegated maho tree, sea hibiscus, China berry, Amelia azaderac, Roya poinciana, Delonix regia, another jujube, Indian jujube. So that's the one beautiful thing about having a established system, is that you can have so much biomass to choose to get from, and then you can bring it to areas that really need it. Here we have a much more simplified little system here. We just have ice cream bean seedlings coming up with just some simple bananas, kind of more spaced out, and some moringas. I did put other support species trees here, but a lot of the times when you work with so much mulch and like good fertility up front, a lot of those leucaenas type trees, these really early succession trees, they don't end up doing too well, just because I think there's just like the bananas just come up so fast because they're loving the fertility that the other trees aren't needed. So I feel like some people get hung up on seed bombs and like trying to get as many service species as possible, and kind of feel bummed when they don't come up. And the more I'm in my agroforestry journey, the more I'm trying to simplify things. So it's okay. I don't mind if my service species don't come up, because the bananas are just so much better. Yeah, they're a lot more labor intensive, but they just provide so much more. But we do still have a lot of pigeon peas that came up, probably because this is an edge and there wasn't a banana covering it. And native service species, native beauty berry here, which is actually, I'm really excited to try to experiment with this more here in Florida as like a kind of an analog to a lot of these service species. So this is just a little, the main thing here is the grafted avocados. And I can get into what's in here. We have trialing different bananas. We have different low crop varieties, and of course more papaya, because we sell a lot of papaya here, and banana. So and sugar cane too. So unfortunately, I really wish I had the time to plant out all this new area strategically, but I don't, which is one of my big regrets of before I go, is that I didn't plant this whole new area out with stuff. I could have just left it all summer long to grow, but it's hard to do everything by yourself. So that's another lesson I'll learn throughout this agroforestry journey, is that it really is hard to do it just yourself. And the more you can do it in community, the better. So that's it. I really just wanted to do one more update video at Miri's before I go. I wish the whole system looked like this. Very pronounced banana. That's the one that's setting fruit. That's the one that's setting fruit. And in between are our target trees. Or in the case of this big mango, there's not too many bananas around it because this mango is just doing its thing. So, but, we can only do so much in a given allotted amount of time. So that's that. Beautiful, beautiful spring so far here in Florida, and I'm really excited to go back to Oregon and be in beautiful Willamette Valley working throughout the summer. And I'm very excited to not be getting bitten alive by mosquitoes and losing. I'm already skinny enough as it is, and working summers here are insane. How much you sweat, it's just an uphill battle for me to try to keep my weight on. It's a lot, so it's gonna be a nice change of pace for sure. So that's that. Go back into the shade of the big beautiful Wintingia. I'm excited for things going forward. So hopefully I'll be able to do a video at my place, because I need to do a little bit of managing there, which I've been neglecting. And I'm probably gonna go do that after this. So maybe I'll see you soon. Beautiful blue sky, wow.